Have you ever felt like you have too many interests and not enough focus? Like you can't pick just one path, one hobby, one identity, one thing to be known for? Maybe you've been told you're scattered, uncommitted, a jack of all trades, master of none. But what if this isn't a flaw? What if this is exactly how you're built to thrive in the world that's coming? Because the future doesn't belong to people who only know one thing. It belongs to people who can connect many things. People like you. If you have too many interests, psychology suggests you may be naturally wired for what experts are starting to call an M-shaped future. A world where versatility, adaptability, and cross-skill thinking are more valuable than narrow specialization. Here are the psychological reasons why. Number one, your brain is wired for pattern recognition across domains. Research shows that when people explore multiple fields, their brain becomes better at spotting patterns that others miss. You don't just learn skills, you learn how different ideas connect. Someone focused only on one subject sees details, you see relationships. You can take something from psychology, something from art, something from technology, something from life experience, and combine them into a new way of thinking. And this is called integrative thinking. And it's a trait strongly linked to creativity and innovation. You might feel like you jump around, but what you're really doing is building a mental map that most people never develop. And in a future where problems are complex and multidisciplinary, this becomes a rare advantage. Number two, you are highly adaptable to change. Psychology shows that people with many interests tend to be more comfortable with novelty. Your brain is used to learning new things, switching contexts, and starting from zero. Most people fear change because they rely on one identity, one skill, one comfort zone. You don't. You've already reinvented yourself many times through your hobbies, passions, and curiosities. So when the world changes, like careers shift, industries evolve, new technologies appear, you don't freeze, you explore. And adaptability is one of the most valuable traits for long-term success and mental resilience. What feels like lack of focus is often a deep comfort with growth and evolution. Number three, you learn faster than you realize. Research indicates that once the brain has learned how to learn in multiple areas, it becomes much more efficient at picking up new skills. You may notice that when you start something new, you improve quickly. That's not random. You've trained your brain to recognize learning patterns. You know how to break things down, how to practice, how to connect old knowledge to new skills. This is called transferable learning, and it's why people with many interests often become surprisingly competent in new areas very quickly. You're not starting from zero each time. You're building on a hidden foundation. Number four, you are less likely to tie your identity to one role. Psychology suggests that people who define themselves by a single role, a job title, a skill, or a label struggle more when that role disappears. But if you have many interests, your identity is flexible. You're not just a programmer, an artist, or a student. You're a curious person, a learner, a creator. This makes you emotionally more resilient when things change. Losing one path doesn't feel like losing yourself. You always have another direction to explore, and this emotional flexibility is extremely important in a fast-changing world. Number five, you naturally think in combinations, not categories. Most people think in boxes, this or that, one path or another. But when you have many interests, your brain stops seeing rigid categories. You start thinking, how can these be combined? Maybe you mix psychology with design, technology with storytelling, fitness with mental health, art with education. This combinational thinking is exactly how new careers, new ideas, and new opportunities are created. Research on creativity shows that breakthroughs often come from combining distant fields, not mastering a single one. You don't just follow paths, you create new ones. Number 6, you are driven by curiosity, not external validation. People who stick to one path often do it because it's safe, predictable, and socially approved. But if you constantly follow new interests, it usually means you're guided by internal curiosity. You explore because something genuinely fascinates you. And intrinsic motivation, doing things because you want to, not because you should, is strongly linked to long-term happiness, creativity, and fulfillment. You are not easily controlled by expectations. You move toward what feels meaningful, and that's a powerful trait. So if you've ever felt guilty for having too many interests, if you've ever felt behind because you didn't choose one thing, if you've ever wondered why you can't settle into a single identity like everyone else, maybe it's because you're not meant to. Maybe you're not built for a narrow path. Maybe you're built for an M-shaped future, where depth in multiple areas, flexibility and cross-thinking are the real strengths. You're not unfocused. You're multidimensional. You're not lost. You're exploring a larger map. And one day, all those interests that seemed random will connect in a way that makes perfect sense. If this resonated with you, you're not alone and you're not broken. You might just be ahead of your time. Subscribe for more psychology insights that help you understand yourself a little better.